Ethics in the age of Obamacare. Wow. Many of you are here today because of the ethical presuppositions that you hold. Webster defines ethics as the doctrine of morality or social manners, the science of moral philosophy which teaches men their duty and the reason of it. Ethics includes belief, conduct, conscience, conviction, criteria, honesty, honor, integrity, principle, standard, value, moral code, natural law, credo, scruples, sense of duty, equity, probity, justice, and fidelity. I didn't know what probity meant. I looked up probity and it said it's a complete and comprehensive integrity. I liked that word probity that I learned. Ethics is a manner of conducting oneself with complete and confirmed integrity. Now that's the positive side of ethics. And we know that a cadre of thieves has an ethic. But what we're talking about here today is the ethics in the age of Obamacare as it relates to medicine. Medical ethics serves as a limitation of wrongdoing, a boundary for professional expression in medicine that protects a sacred confidence. These ethics are value determinations that cannot be divorced from moral foundations. The contemporary medical ethic is undergoing a transformation so radical that not only is the face of medicine changing, but its very heart is changing. When the phrase, "do no harm," which many of you recited, or at least had the spirit of from an oath, when it no longer resonates in the heart of medicine, and abortion and euthanasia boldly enter the theater of America's drama through political and societal mandates, our noble profession has been emasculated, and we have become pawns in the usurpation of liberty. Has the ethic of protecting the patient changed from the guiding principles of medical judgment with compassion and care to the economics of socio-political rule that characterizes the countries where the elderly and the poor are made slaves of the state? I hope not, but I wonder. None of us entered medical school with the intention of becoming servants of centralized medical decision-making, but it would appear the majority of medical graduates today are not inclined to even consider engaging in the battle for private medicine. The indoctrination has been thorough and successful. If we cannot see past the illusion of government's promised utopias, if we cannot envision the future of the death of liberty, if we cannot muster courage enough to defend private medicine, our ethic is no longer noble, and we will share in the pathos and humiliation and defeat. Is retirement, disengagement, and passivity the fruit of our ethic? I hope not, but I wonder. The Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, and if there was ever a misnomer, that's it. It not only has provided another pathway of legal plunder for the advancement of socialist policies, it is occupying an enforceable replacement of our United States Constitution. The IRS has already been spoken of, and it has been empowered to ensure compliance with this document. The complexities created by our federal government are forcing doctors to release autonomy to hospitals. This manipulation of doctors to voluntarily give up freedom for apparent security has already had alarming results for patients and doctors. I love medicine. When I received that invitation to become a student in the class at the medical school in Augusta, that was a life-changing day. And I know many of you have experienced that thrill, although I think today it's becoming a little less desirable. Why? Because I think some ethical issues are changing. Medicine is a window into the soul. Patients will confide in a physician things they would not even confide in a priest or a pastor or a personal counselor. There's an ethic that has been present in medicine that affords that possibility of a window into the soul of the human being. My perspective, it's what I'm giving you today, my perspective is that I'm an extension of a hand, and it is the hand of the great physician. The government is not the hand the sick patient holds in times of trial and pain and suffering and dying. The conflict we are in is a multi-generational conflict. The moral capital we operate with today is carried over from a strong foundation in Judeo-Christian thinking. Society, aware of its place in history, is not content to merely note its changing circumstances without attempting to evaluate the cause. Western civilization, particularly the United States over the past 50 years, is turning away from its heritage. Medicine and its ethic, unfortunately, are caught in this turning. So, does the body of medical profession today own its part in the transformation of America? Some do. I think the ethic of most in this room would say, yes, we have some responsibility. But I fear that most don't. Is there a morality underlying the unconstitutionality of the Affordable Care Act? Absolutely. It's that same morality which legitimizes robbing from one to gain power to give to another. 2 years ago, when I asked a high-profile physician about the possibility of addressing AAPS, he told me that because of his position, it wasn't wise for him to choose sides. That troubled me, and I told him so. I respected the man, he's high profile, but when he said that, I said, that's part of our problem. No, let's go ahead and declare whose side we're on. You know, we don't have all the answers here at AAPS, but we are right on this question. It is not the government's business to engage in the medical affairs of its citizenry, period. As popular as it has become, and as deeply as we are embedded in it, government involvement in medicine is for government and not for the people. We must continue to adhere to the ethic that is right, rejecting intrusive and liberty-destroying regulations imposed by those who can impose those regulations. We hear many politicians in their speeches with the phrase, God bless America. Well, there's no question in my mind that he has. But I see much in the American culture that is impediment to this continued blessing. In Old Testament writings of prophecy recorded in Hosea 8:4, speaking of ancient Israel, it is recorded, they made idols for their destruction. I contend it is not difficult to identify idols in American culture. These may well serve to bring the strongest nation in the history of mankind to its destruction. So, what do? We educate, we instruct, we encourage, but we must lead by example. We must secure our own ethic, requiring a confident dependence upon the principles that define liberty and recognize our departure from those sacred principles. We cease looking to government to sustain us. We boldly defend our freedom to practice medicine by maintaining the highest degree of professional ethics, and that includes protecting our patients from tyranny. I look forward to greeting each of you tonight at the reception. For those of you who are interested, at 6:30 a.m. tomorrow, Friday morning, from 6:30 to 7, in the Stono room, there will be a time set aside for prayer, for those of you interested, 6:30 a.m. in the morning till 7:30. Again, I thank you all for coming. It is with a great deal of sacrifice that many of you are here. I thank you so much.